Yes.
So, about how long have you been on Staten Island?
I'm glad you asked me that question because I was born and raised on Staten Island. Very proud to say I've been involved in the community on Staten Island for probably 55 years. In charitable affairs and in community affairs. I grew up on Cromwell Avenue in Dungan Hills. I grew up with public school, 11. Became a altar boy and a usher in St. Anne's. And I wanted to give something back to the community for over 50 years. So I got involved and made a difference in the community.
So you were a pre-bridge Staten Islander?
Absolutely. I was one of a group, you can see it outside, one of a group which I was very privileged and honored to be, a group that had a dinner at the Tavern on the Green, where the post office is today in New Dorp, with some very wonderful people that structured my life and mentored me for the future. It was D. Capitelli, owned the Tavern on the Green with his father Ambrose, and the group, Mr. Pietricatello, Mr. Sciacca, who's my co-chair, can't be here tonight, he's 97. And we had the bridge made at Ferrari's on Mulberry Street, made of sugar and brought to the Tavern on the Green. And just like tonight, and just like 10 years ago, 10 years ago, I wanted something special so the people on Staten Island can recognize the wonderful pioneers that brought the attention to this. I had the privilege of being with the borough president, Mr. Maniscalco then, Moses, Robert Moses, Rockefeller, and Abe Stark, and we put a dinner together at the Tavern on the Green. Beautiful dinner. We had maybe 200 people. After the dinner, we got in buses and we went to the top of the Verrazano Bridge before it opened. This to me was the most wonderful part of my life. To be part of a group, like I said, that was so inspirational to me. And in those days, in the 50s growing up, I grew up with my grandmother. My father came from Sicily, and he came through Ellis Island in 2004. I became the honoree of the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. So those things are very special to me. And I give scholarships out to 5 schools on Staten Island, high schools and public schools. I encourage and mentor, and I encourage young people. I encourage them to do internships with me in Wall Street. I'm a Wall Street guy, probably for 58 years. And working in Wall Street and working in the community was a big part of my life. And the wonderful people that I surrounded myself with. Congressman Murphy, entrepreneurs who said, let's do something different. Let's go to the Verrazano Bridge, let's have a dinner. And I was very, very, very thankful for that 1964.
Last question. What was the most memorable part of your first trip over the bridge?
Wow. the largesse of it, the expanse of it, looking out to Brooklyn, looking out to the Arthur Kill, looking out to Staten Island. I was in awe, because the only thing I remembered that got me over to Brooklyn was a 69th Street ferry. Mm-hmm. And now we have this beautiful bridge. Awesome. A picture that will live with me the rest of my life. Just something that, and look at this, 50 years, we have 500,000 people on Staten Island. Mm-hmm. Cars come back and forth, and people, tremendous amount of people from Brooklyn and other parts of the boroughs come to my borough, the borough that I worked very hard for 58 years. I just love it, and I hope to continue what I'm doing for the education of the young people, and I tell them what happened to me on that beautiful night that we got in and we went up to the Verrazano Bridge, and the expanse of it, the largesse of it, just a portrait.